Everything you were taught about failure is backwards. The most successful people on the planet aren't the ones who avoided failure. They're the ones who understood it differently. This album is 10 tracks, one idea per track. Loop each one until it clicks. Wait for the move on cue, then let the next track build on what you just locked in. Let's go. You've been watching the highlight reel. Cutting room floor is where the story's real. Every name you know that built something true left a trail of wreckage in the residue. They don't teach you that in the books they write. They show you the sunrise, not the previous night, but the previous night is where it actually lives. The scar tissue proof of what the process gives. It's not what you think. Failure isn't the wall. It's not what you think. It's the thing before the whole. Not the opposite of winning. It's the work inside the win. Not the end of the story. It's where the real ones begin. Every company that changed the world, you know, had a graveyard year they never liked to show. Every athlete at the top of their game can name the moment they considered quitting the frame. The mechanism isn't talent, it's in luck. It's what they built the time their ambition got stuck. Failure is the forge, not the fire that kills. It's the pressure that decides who fits the bill. It's not what you think. Failure isn't the wall. It's not what you think. It's the thing before the whole. Not the opposite of winning. It's the work inside the win. Not the end of the story. It's where the real ones begin. Strip the mythology away. What you're left with isn't pretty, but it's true. Every giant in the game got rebuilt by something they went through. Not what you think. Not what you think. Yeah. Failure is the mechanism, not the end. Not what you think.
The last track cracks something open. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's how success actually works. But if that's true, why do smart people still avoid it so hard? This track is about the price you pay for that avoidance. It's called the fear tax. You're probably already paying it.
You didn't take the job because the risk was real. You built a smaller version of the thing you feel. You stayed inside the lane that you already know, and called it being careful, called it taking it slow. But slow is not the safe road that it looks like from here. Slow is just a long route to the thing that you fear. Because stagnation isn't neutral, it accumulates, and the interest on avoidance always escalates. There's a tax on the fear, paid in years you can't reclaim. There's a tax on the fear, paid in versions of your name. Every move you didn't make to keep the damage small adds a levy to the future. You're already in the hall, paying the fear tax, paying the fear tax, paying the fear tax, paying the fear tax. The people who came out the other side whole didn't have less to lose, they had a different toll. They ran the math on playing safe and didn't like what showed, so they took the road with friction over the comfortable road. The tax is still there, they paid it too, but they paid it moving forward, not staying where they knew. And the difference isn't bravery, it's a calculation made that the cost of not attempting is the higher price paid. There's a tax on the fear, paid in years you can't reclaim. There's a tax on the fear, paid in versions of your name. Every move you didn't make to keep the damage small adds a levy to the future. You're already in the hall. Paying the fear tag, paying the fear tag, paying the fear tag, paying the fear tag. You're paying either way. The only question is what you're paying for. Forward motion or the standstill. There is no avoiding the door. The fear tax. Everybody pays. The question is the direction. Everybody pays. The last track named the fear tax. The hidden cost of avoidance. But here's why the tax gets so high. For most people, the outcome and the identity are fused. When the project fails, they fail. When the pitch dies, they die. This track is the unlock that breaks that fusion. Identity isn't the score. You wrote the deck came back rejected. You trained for months, a race left you deflected. You launched a thing the market barely stirred, and something in you took it as a verdict. But a verdict on the work is not the same as a verdict on the person with the name. The pitch was wrong, the timing or the frame, not the one who showed up and played the game. I failed at the thing, I'm not the failure. The outcome was mine, but not the owner. I put the work in, the work didn't land. That's information, not the measure of the man. Identity isn't the score. Identity isn't the score. The ones who keep returning to the field have learned to hold their effort like a shield. Not from the feedback, they absorb it all, but from the part that wants to make it personal. They take the data, strip the shame away, and use the gap to build a sharper day. Because a gap between the goal and where you are is a map, not evidence. You'll never go far. I failed at the thing, I'm not the failure. The outcome was mine, but not the owner. I put the work in, the work didn't land. That's information, not the measure of the man. Identity isn't the score. Identity isn't the score. It's just a number on a board. Your identity is the one who can't afford to keep on playing when the number isn't right, because the player and the score don't share the same life. Not the score, not the outcome, yeah, not the verdict on the name, just the player in the game.
Well, you just locked in. You are not the outcome. But separation isn't denial. It's what makes the next move possible. Because once your identity isn't on the line, you can actually look at what happened clearly. This track is about that process, the debrief, the deliberate extraction of signal from what went wrong. 2 hours after the crash, when the dust settles down, not a week, not a month, while the memory's still around, they sit with what happened and they ask three things clear: what went wrong, what was mine, and what do I do from here? Not an autopsy to punish, not a spiral into blame, a forensic conversation with the record
chance. Now take the data, then the better plan to advance the debrief, deliberate, structured, clear. The debrief, the reason they keep getting here. The failure is not the lesson. The lesson is what you pull out deliberately. The failure is the raw material. The debrief is the factory. Strip it down, pull the signal, build it back, run the debrief. You've run the debrief. You have the signal now. Now comes the part where most people stall. They wait to feel ready. They wait for the motivation to return. It doesn't work that way. This track breaks the momentum myth, the idea that you need to feel ready before you move. You're waiting for the feeling that the coast is clear. You're waiting for the version of yourself from last year. You're waiting for a signal that it's safe to go, but the signal only comes from moving. Now you know the myth is that momentum is a thing you find left over from before the fall, intact behind. But momentum is not stored, it's generated live. You build it with the smallest move that keeps the work alive. Don't wait for ready, ready doesn't come first. Don't wait for easy, easy follows the work. The smallest action breaks the static in the wire. Movement is the kindling, not the fire. Before the fire movement. Before the fire movement. Not the full rebuild, not the grand return, not the press release and the lessons learned. One email sent, 1 hour blocked, 1 page, one small deliberate act to reopen the stage. Because the brain that's stalled needs evidence, not will. It needs a signal that the engine's running still. And the only way to generate the proof is to put a single foot back on the roof. Don't wait for ready, ready doesn't come first. Don't wait for easy, easy follows the work. The smallest action breaks the static in the wire. Movement is the kindling, not the fire. Before the fire movement. Before the fire movement. Before the fire movement. 1 degree of motion, that's the whole unlock. Not the destination, just the turning of the lock. Move before you're ready. Move before you're sure. Movement is the answer. Movement is the cure. You move before you were ready. That's the last unlock. Now here's one that surprises most people. The ones who recover fastest don't hide their failure. They use it not as a confession, no, not for sympathy. They use it as a credibility asset. The visible scar isn't a liability, it's proof of survival. You've been keeping it close, keeping the record clean, editing the biography between the lines they've seen. But the room already knows that everyone's been down, and the ones who say so first are the ones who wear the crown. Not the messy overshare, not the public wound, the clean and honest telling of a lesson that's been tuned. Here's what I tried, here's where it broke apart. Here's what I built from the debris of the start. Show the visible scar, not to perform the pain. Show the visible scar, to make the lesson plain. The ones who built the most trust in the rooms they walk through are the ones who said out loud what everyone else knew. Visible scar, it's not a flaw to fix. Visible scar, it's where the credibility lives. Because the polished surface makes the room pull back. They're looking for the human underneath the track. The story of the fall told with clarity and frame is the story that the room will keep inside your name. There's a difference between the wound still raw and the healed up mark that shows you know the law that says no journey worth the telling was a straight line. The scar is just the spelling. Show the visible scar, not to perform the pain. Show the visible scar, to make the lesson plain. The ones who built the most trust in the rooms they walk through are the ones who said out loud what everyone else knew. A visible scar, it's not a flaw to fix. It's visible scar, it's where the credibility lives. The story told with craft and honesty is not the same as bleed in the open. Control the frame, carry the meaning. Let the scar be gold, not broken. Visible scar, gold in the crack, not the wound, the way back.
You know how to use your story now, but recovery doesn't just live in your head. It lives in the room you're in, the people around you, the inputs you're absorbing. This track is about the environment edit, the deliberate reshaping of your surroundings to match the recovery you need. Context shapes trajectory. You can't think your way out of a room that holds you down. You can't will the reset in the wrong part of town. The people in your orbit and the inputs in your feet are either building the recovery or planting the wrong seed. High performers after failure, first thing that they do is look around the landscape and consider what is true. Makes the damage feel like it confirms a larger flaw. And who sees a setback as a standard before the draw? Edit the environment, it's not a luxury. Edit the environment, it's the surgery. The soil determines what the seed becomes. Change what's around you before the theory comes. Environment edit, ruthless and clear. Environment edit starts right here. Environment edit starts right here. Not about burning every bridge that gave you doubt, about being honest on what your recovery is about. You need the room that asks the forward question first, not the room that autopsies you into your worst. The books on the shelf, the voice in the ear, the morning input setting the frequency for year. All of it is architecture, build it with intent, or live inside the default till the energy is spent. Edit the environment, it's not a luxury. Edit the environment, it's the surgery. The soil determines what the seed becomes. Change what's around you before the theory comes. Environment edit, ruthless and clear. Environment edit starts right here. Environment edit starts right here. One person who believes the forward version of you is worth more than 10 who knew you when. Audit the room, not with cruelty, with the clarity of where you're going again. Edit the room, edit the feed. Edit what you're growing in before you plant the seed. You plant the seed. Edit the seed. Edit the seed. The environment is reset. Now here's an internal one. The way you're reading the pressure you feel. Most people after a failure treat continuing pressure as a warning sign, evidence that they're not healed yet, not ready. High performers read it differently. Pressure is a lantern. It shows you exactly where to look. You feel it in the chest when the stakes come back around. The tension before the meeting and the weight before the ground. And the instinct is to read it as a sign you're not okay. But the pressure is a lantern. It's illuminating the way. It narrows down the question to the one that matters most. It strips away the noise until the signal is the host. The people who perform when the difficulty peaks aren't the ones with no pressure, they're the ones it speaks. Pressure is a lantern, not a flaw in the design. Pressure is a lantern, follow what it finds. Where it falls the hardest is the question you must face. Not evidence of weakness, it's just lighting up the place. Pressure is a lantern. Feel the same contraction that you feel when you want to stop. But they've built the interpretation that the feeling is a tool, not the sign of a collapse. It's the sharpening of the view. After failure, the pressure feels like it might break the frame. But the frame was tested, now you know its range. The lantern burns the hardest at the edge of what is real. That's not danger, that's the outline of the deal. Pressure is a lantern, not a flaw in the design. Pressure is a lantern, follow what it finds. Where it falls the hardest is the question you must face. Not evidence of weakness, it's just lighting up the place. Pressure is a lantern. Pressure is a lantern. Let it illuminate. Don't extinguish what it shows. The difficulty is the signal. That's how the lantern grows. Pressure is a lantern, not the fire, the light. Follow where it's pointing through the difficulty, right? You've learned to read pressure as information, not alarm. Now the timeline, this might be the unlock that does the most quiet work. Most people evaluate their failures on a 1-year window. Maybe less successful people run different arithmetic. At the 12-month mark you couldn't see the use. The bridge was out, the contract was refused. The company had folded, the relationship was done. And the calendar looked nothing like the plan you'd begun. But the 5-year red is written in a different font. The refused contract forced the move you always want. The folded company freed you for the one that mattered. And the bridge that burned turned out to be the chain that scattered. Run the long game, arithmetic. Don't close the book when the short chapter's sick. What reads as loss at the edge of the first year might read as the foundation, give it time to clear. Long game, arithmetic, different math. Long game, arithmetic, longer path. The investors who backed the failures that became the names knew the 1-year red was
was wrong across the frames. The careers that look like chaos from the outside view, a long game arithmetic playing out as true. Not everything that breaks you sends you forward fast. Some of it takes years before the meaning is amassed. But the ones who stayed in play past the short red pain had a clock that ran on decades, not the rainfall and the drain. Run the long game arithmetic. Don't close the book when the short chapter's sick. What reads is lost at the edge of the first year. My read is the foundation, give it time to clear. Long game arithmetic, different math. Long game arithmetic, longer path. Zoom out the lens. The frame you're in is too close to the thing. 5 years from today, you'll know what this failure was beginning. Longer math, longer clock. Don't close the ledger, don't stop.
The last track gave you the arithmetic. Failure read over the right timeline stops, looking like a wall. Now we close the loop 9, unlocks one coherent architecture for how successful people actually fail and recover. This final track walks the whole chain and hands it back to you, complete, usable, yours. You don't need to feel ready, you already are. We started with the reframe. Failure is the mechanism, not the opposite of winning. Not the wall, but the prism. Then we named the fear tax, what avoidance quietly cost. Then we cut the fusion between the outcome and the loss. Then we ran the debrief, turned the records into red. Then we moved before we're ready, broke the need to lead with need. Then we showed the visible scar and watched the trust compound. Then we edited the room until the right soil was found.
This is the full chain, 9 links and they hold. This is the full chain, forged from what you were told. Failure is the forge and recovery is the art. And every link was built the moment you chose to start. The full chain, it's yours to run. The full chain, the work isn't done, but the architecture's clear. You know how this is done.
Then we read the pressure as a line of lighting where to look. Then we ran the long arithmetic and closed a shorter book. 9 unlocks a single structure for the way it works. Not philosophy, not comfort, this is how the mechanism turns. Every name that builds something worth the telling. Ran this chain in some form, conscious or compelling. Now you have the blueprint in the order it belongs, and a sequence in your memory built into these songs.
This is the full chain, 9 links and they hold. This is the full chain,
Forged from what you were told. Failure is the forge and recovery is the art. And every link was built the moment you chose to start.
the full chain,
It's yours to run. The full chain, the work isn't done, but the architecture's clear. You know how this is done. You are not the failure, you are not the score. You are the one who built the chain and walked back through the door. Kintsugi, gold in the crack, not the break that defines you, the way you came back. The full chain.